think there's also an informational gap. Like the thing is, people do not know where can I legitimately invest. I got my first job. The first question was like, okay, now I've started earning. Where do I take this money? And I can tell you for sure, like I Googled, I tried looking for this information, but I couldn't find it.
Pesa Chronicles is back. We missed you guys. I hope you guys missed us. So welcome back to another amazing season where we get to explore different aspects about people's relationships with money and different things about the financial markets. And today I have an amazing panel ready to actually have this conversation. So I have the well-renowned man himself, the soft giant. That's what we call him around here. That is Byron Roche, who is an amazing colleague.
They should.
No, you know
It's
that's
okay.
a good thing.
Nah,
you know.
I'll take it for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice having you here. How are you feeling?
Cold, breezy. The weather in Nairobi is very confusing. One day it's sunny, the next day
know.
it's breezy.
Yeah.
I mean, like today I didn't carry a sweater and then all of a sudden it's cold. Yesterday I carried a sweater and then it was sunny. So
Weather ikutambuye msee.
yeah, it's very confusing like the government right now.
And next to Byron is a beautiful certified investment financial analyst. I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
She is called Juliet. So kindly introduce yourself, Juliet.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Juliet Sospita. I go as FA Julie on my socials, and I'm very, very happy to be here. And yeah, I can't wait to start this conversation.
Awesome. I'm really happy to have you guys here.
No, immediately after that you need to do the tarumbeta sound.
Oh,
Po,
wow.
po, po.
All right, we'll add that as an effect. But I'm happy to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Today's topic is about investing. All right, so we're just gonna do a deep dive to get to understand your personal views about investing. Your experiences and all that. And hey, just help guys understand more about it. And even before we proceed, Pesa Chronicles is powered by Scope Markets. Okay, now Scope Markets recently rebranded. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, it's an amazing, beautiful thing we got going on, right?
Oh, yes.
And now Scope Markets is actually powered by Rostro Group. And we are happy to actually continue with Pesa Chronicles and make it bigger and better to help more traders understand more about the markets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So into investing, let's start with Sifa here. I'm gonna call you Sifa because
Just do FA Julie.
FA Juliet. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us about a bit about yourself first. How you got to be a financial analyst. That's a big term, right? That's a big thing, eh?
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Finances.
How did you get there?
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Marcy, for that question. So first of all, I did actuarial science in the university.
Okay.
That's because I really loved maths. Up to date, I love maths. It's just something about numbers and data that, I don't know, just tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You don't hear that every day.
No, watu wa agriculture watatu nyamazi.
That's a home science.
yes. Yeah, so in the university, I started to take actuarial science because there's a lot of numbers involved.
Yeah.
But then when I was still doing my coursework, I realized there are two ways to go about it. Like if you're taking actuarial science, it's either you become a fully certified actuary, and I think there are, I don't know, like less than 12 right now in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Or you can venture into other things. So at that point, I was like, I wasn't really sure about going the actuary way. So I decided to just, venture into investments and financial markets and whatnot. And so that's where the whole passion began. Like, I wanted to know, what are these shares when you talk about government securities and money market funds and these other things. I really wanted to understand what this was all about. Yeah, so I decided to take the CIFA papers and it took me like around, 2 years. And after that, I became certified, and I'm actually gazetted by the government of Kenya to offer financial advice. Wow. So, yes.
Now, that's one of the most important things that somebody has to note.
Yeah.
For you to offer financial advice, you need to go through a proper coursework and you need to be certified. So for our viewers, it's very important for you to understand you don't take financial advice from somebody that is not certified.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a very good advice that I can give you today. Yeah,
And
because
where can I confirm someone is actually like certified? Is there like a website or something?
Yes. There's actually an ICFAM website where you can you can just go and confirm, like anyone who claims to be a financial advisor, are they really certified? And there's like a whole list there. I mean, we've already seen the implication of taking advice from everyone. And recently we had the Eldoret scam. I don't know if you guys saw.
that was big.
I know.
Funny thing is, this is something that a lot of guys saw coming. I think we being in this space that we are in the financial markets, we get a lot of people that want to get into investment. But the problem that most guys have is they don't want to do the solid work. So they don't want to learn. They don't want, they want the easy way out. So they'll come to you and then they'll tell you, you just tell me where to put my money. Like, because you're a brand and everything else, they just trust you.
Yeah.
Now, funny thing for the Eldoret scam, they actually gave out money to somebody. And then that person was doing investment for them.
Purporting to do investment for them.
And then one of the other things that baffles me a lot is, like, you go online and then you see somebody is there posting telling you, you bring 100 shillings and then by the end of the day I'll be giving you 50 shillings. Where is he investing right now that he's able to make 50 shillings every single day?
Why can't he tell you, then you do it for yourself, you know?
And then, you know, people are so blinded by it that people just give away money. And then at the end of the day, they realize somebody was taking money from Julie and then paying you. And then I'm taking money from you and then paying somebody else. And then it's a whole circle. And then,
pyramid.
After that, it's done. Somebody's lost millions.
That's true. But I think the whole reason guys also get into such spaces is because of desperation. Because a lot of guys are desperate. If you also once again look at the Eldoret guys, it's mostly like parents, you know, someone has a farm or something and they're just trying to make it out of the village per se. So there's a lot of desperation. And I think now the conversation we'd want to have is how do we actually like remove that desperation per se and make guys more aligned and understand the best avenues to actually invest in. So maybe you can give us a scenario, you guys, that is, where have you invested? What is your first investment and how did it actually go? Whether it's actually stocks and shares or even just a small biashara.
I mean, before we get into that, I think just to add on what you've said in terms of desperation, people, you know, they just want to make money fast. I think there's also an informational gap. The thing is, people do not know where can I legitimately invest. And I remember I was in the same situation. Like immediately I finished my university degree, I got my first job. The first question was like, okay, now I've started earning. Where do I take this money? And I can tell you for sure, like I Googled, I tried looking for this information, but I couldn't find it. And the information that was there, it wasn't really relatable. You know, there were still questions around like, okay, fine, where do I start? How are the returns and whatnot? So there's also that aspect. And also in my quest to look for information on where to save and invest, I remember a friend of mine referred me to a person or rather a gentleman who used to work at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and we met over coffee. And he started explaining all these jargons, but after that I was like, okay, I still don't understand.
You don't get it.
And that actually birthed like my whole idea because that's when I started. I told myself, or rather promised myself, immediately I got the right experience and skill, I'll now give back to the community by creating content around personal finance, investing, and saving. So
and in the simplest way possible.
In the simplest,
definitely
precisely. So that is where it all started.
Nice.
It's awesome. Okay.
So I think the jargons helped. Because right now it's
did.
helping millions.
They pushed her when she was like, you know, I gotta look for my own information, you know.
Because at the end of the day, if she understood that at that particular time, right now all her fans and everybody that is following her, they wouldn't benefit from everything that they're getting right now.
That's true.
So we can say thank you to that securities guy.
I love that perspective. I've never thought of it that way, but thanks.
We will say thank you to that security guy. But for me, I believe one of the things that I've learned across the years is, like Julie said, information is scanty. And then when you Google information, I don't know what happens mostly with Kenya. You'll find that the negative part is up and then now the other parts are lying down. So a lot of negative information is published before the actual information. And then each and every time that somebody tries to find or tries to source out information, they get scared more than actually trying to dig deeper into understanding it. So for her to come out and then like practically give out people experience to people about finances and everything, that's a solid platform that people can be able to start from.
That's true.
And then we have like Pesa Chronicles, where people can actually follow and then follow through with Scope Markets, where people can actually get free classes and definitely understand about stocks, financial markets, and everything else. So this platform definitely helps out.
Awesome.
Truly.
So back to my question.
Yes.
First time investment. How was that for you? Let's start with Julie.
Yes. Okay. When it comes to traditional investments,
Yeah.
I mean, that is after I had already, again, done my research. Very important when it comes to investing. Done my due diligence. I was now more confident in investing in local stocks. And I remember I started with like, the big, we call them the big five in Kenya, or four. There are like around 4 blue chip companies right now. So I think I did Equity, KCB, and it was COP.
COP, okay.
Yeah, that was way back before COVID, just right before COVID 2019. At that time, banking stocks were like trading, like the growth prospects were very high because guys were like, the interest rate cap has already been removed. And so it's like, it's a good time to start now stocking up on, buying those stocks rather. Yeah, so that happened. But, when it comes to stocks or rather any other investment, it's always good for you to be there in the long term because, I mean, in between anything can happen. Like stocks are very volatile. Today they're up, tomorrow they're down. So the first thing you need to know is that before investing, you need to have a financial goal. Okay, fine. So how long do I need this money? How long will I be invested in? And for me, when I was actually getting into those stocks, it was like, I'll be in for 8 years rather, or more than even like 5 years. So that means this is money that I will not need in the next
5 years.
Precisely. Yeah, so, but right now, looking at those stocks, if you ask me, is it a good time to sell them? I'll be I'm not so sure. But then again, am I worried about them? Not really, because I'm still invested in the long term.
Yeah, in the long run.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're not really like afraid that they can go like all the way to zero, or something of the sort,
Yeah, no, the thing about also investing in stocks is that you really need to understand the fundamentals of the company. Like, what are you investing in? Like if you're talking about banking stocks, don't just go investing in the name, like it can be KCB or cooperative. Look at the like long-term growth prospects. We're looking at, I don't know, perhaps KCB is going to expand in X countries. So that is good. It means you as a shareholder, you're going to get something out of it. So again, it's about understanding the underlying asset that you're investing in. So that's why I'm not. Am I really worried? Not really.
Plus, the financials of those companies definitely help you out in understanding how stable they are. And then, like Julie said, you see, if you're investing, let's say for instance in the Kenyan scene, you're investing in like Equity. You realize they're in DRC, they're trying to expand across Africa, so the growth prospect is already there. So you being worried for the next like 5 years, maybe not. And again, one of the things that she said that is very important is the time aspect. This is not something that you're going to get in right now, and then you expect to pull out at the end of 8 months, and then you've tripled your investment. You should be in it for a very long time. You should be in it for the long haul. At the end of the day, it gets to pay out, because looking at it, I think 4 years ago, if you're even looking at the global financial markets, looking at the stocks for Tesla, looking at the stocks for, let's say, Apple, where they were, the share price right now, and even like recently, we had a company called Nvidia, which within a year, I think the share price went like 70% up.
Close to 100.
So those are things that definitely somebody needs to do research before they get into investing. But for me, my first investment was a traditional investment.
Nice.
Man, I'd saved up my 1,000 bob.
1,000 shillings.
I invested wisely because I gave it to my mom.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, she's pretty solid in
moms are that way.
But then we bought the Ken Chicks. You know the Ken Chicks? At home. One thing though that you have to understand is different climates, different stuff.
Yeah.
All those cuckoos, kufad.
Oh my God.
Man, you know that was 3 months of me waiting and not eating my mandazis and everything else.
Nurturing your cheeks,
Yeah.
Do you know how
literally.
traumatizing it is? And then the worst part is when they were dying, I wasn't there. I was
Oh,
in
man.
school. So me, I'm in school, and then I'm like, hey, at home, I have a very big investment. I'm waiting to go back home
Yeah.
and then reap. I got home. My mom was like, say, they all died.
Oh man. Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
I know.
But it
Poor
happens. The
lesson.
Yeah, but it
traditional ones
happens.
do
Yeah.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, it was a step towards you understanding. First things first, you have to do research about anything that you want to invest
Yes.
in. And like, there's a time I was telling guys, if you look even at Warren Buffett, he says you don't need to invest in something that you don't understand. First, have an understanding of whatever it is that you're investing in.
Yeah.
That way, you can make proper prognosis on whatever it is that you want to do.
Great.
So if you want to invest in, let's say, fractional stocks, or if you want to invest in, let's say, the financial markets,
Yeah.
you need to have background information about it, so that in case of anything, you already understand what's happening, why it's happening, and how you can mitigate either your risk or when it's the right time for you to get out.
To get out. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's also a very important thing for somebody who's trying to do any sort of investment to
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
I think for me, investing is more or less about, okay, there's a statement I had from The Ramsey Show. You guys should check out a show called The Ramsey Show. He says, get out of debt and stay out of debt. Okay, so a lot of us have like credit cards, loans. You've borrowed your family members. You know, every day you're waking up, you're remembering, oh my God, I got like
worst.
so much.
Hey.
I have so much going on,
Yeah.
and even when your salary does come in, or anything you're probably expecting at the end of the month, you know it's just gonna end. You know, like
Yeah,
it's gonna
servicing
go
debt.
here, it's gonna go there.
Yeah.
So get out of debt and stay out of debt. That's for me for investment, yeah.
Okay.
And let's just break it down. So for investing, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
So there's the traditional things. You can start up a business. You can do all that.
Yeah.
Those ones are also risky. Actually, all investments are risky,
Yeah,
right?
there's no investment
yeah,
that
there's
is
no
not risky.
investment that's not
Yeah.
risky. But for instance, in the financial market space, what are some of the things you can invest in? We have talked about stocks, for instance.
Yeah.
Another popular one I know about is bonds.
Yes.
There's usually a misconception about bonds. Actually, like when I was growing up, I used to think they're so like they're so fancy and highness. I was like,
Yeah.
they're so you know.
I need a million
And then you
bob
grow
and
up and you're like, that's
everything.
all, you know. And then there's ETFs. Those are exchange traded funds.
Yeah.
There's the index funds. So the index funds are like trading. For example, if it's in Kenya, it's NSE 25, or
Yeah.
if it's globally S&P 500.
500.
I hope this jargon does not lose people, but
Yeah.
we are about to break it down for you guys.
Don't worry, Julie will explain.
Yeah.
They just follow Julie.
yes. So I think we can dive into first the local market. So in the local market, we have NSE derivatives, for
Yeah.
instance. How what is your understanding about that space, and how does it work? You know.
Like for me, if I'm looking into the local markets with NSE, one of the good things that NSE has done across the years, looking at it from, let's say, 2010 till now, is they've ventured out of the normal office space and partnered up with so many people so that guys can have access to it from
Yeah.
wherever it is that they are. So, like for instance, before for you to invest with the NSE derivatives or any stocks within NSE, you had to go in. I think you had to get somebody to do it for you
Yeah.
on the floor.
You have to make a call, man.
Yeah.
You have to be like, yo, might do it.
Yeah,
Place is, you
yeah,
know.
it was tedious.
Yeah.
But right now, like for instance, if you open an account at Scope Markets, you can be able to get access to
NSE
NSE
derivatives, for instance.
You
Yeah.
see, now that delocalization helps guys that you might find that somebody is maybe in Bungoma, somebody is in Mombasa, and they want access to that. So that's one of the best parts that NSE has done across point.
Yeah.
And then locally, I look at companies and their financial growth and their stability. One of the companies that I think almost every single Kenyan who's a Gen X has invested in is Safaricom.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our parents misses out in shares in Safaricom.
Yeah.
Because again, they were looking at it at how Safaricom was doing their business and the growth prospects through Safaricom. And everybody is definitely looking at Safaricom as a company that is going to be there stable for
A really long time.
The next 10 years, 20 years. And the growth prospects are there because right now they're venturing into Ethiopia. They're trying to get set out across Tanzania. You have Burundi. So those are some of the things that it's usually important for you to understand.
Yeah.
And then looking at the banking sector, you have a company like ABSA. Yeah. I think they rebranded from Barclays.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple of years back.
Exactly. And then looking at it, it's a global brand. So you getting into an investment, even though it's local, you understand that you're getting into something that is definitely stable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that I do mostly whenever it is that I'm looking at NSE derivatives is one of the things that I said is looking at the financials, because very good financials across different years and across different quarters shows you the kind of growth and stability that a company has. So having, it's not about the profits. Somebody can have massive profits, but there are those people who have consistent financials.
Yeah.
So you'd rather be making 1 shilling every single quarter consistently. It shows you are stable, as opposed to you having massive profits and then dropping down and then going back to massive profits. So that consistency helps me getting into some of the stocks investments in the country.
That's true. And it's also about not cashing out really quickly, right?
Yes, yes.
The same way you said, you're looking at like a 5 to 8 year probably goal plan. So how is that working out for you? How are your shares performing right now?
I mean, I'm still getting small dividends. And so first of all, it was like my first financial markets investments, I must say. Like, it's not like I put in a lot of money.
It is
Just
a lot.
to like, no, it wasn't, honestly. It was just to like test the waters and see. Again, and this is what I normally tell some of my clients or even followers.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, when you're trying to understand something, the main thing to, like, if you want to benefit from it, of course, you have to start. But then you start with small amounts of money as you keep on learning how are they working. So that, okay, fine, even in 8 years, even if they will not be at, because I already have like a prize, a target prize that I'm hoping they will get, right?
Okay.
So if it doesn't get there, I will not be, like, I'll not feel so much pain that I've lost money, you know?
Okay.
So there's also that aspect. Like, I mean, they always say, just invest, especially when you're looking at risky assets, invest like an amount that you're comfortable losing.
Yeah, to lose, yeah.
To lose, exactly. Yeah.
You're not like emotionally attached to
Precisely,
it.
yes. And that's how I've never even checked them.
You are like big
They're
on
just there.
Punchline, don't check that.
I know, but yeah.
That's awesome. Great. Now to the international stocks. So one of the offerings that Scope Markets has, right, is a platform where you can actually invest in the global market.
Yes.
And that is super exciting for me because I think all of us would actually relate with these things. We probably have iPhones. We have, what else? We watch
Microsoft,
Netflix.
we watch Netflix.
Yeah, we have laptops with Microsoft, you know.
Tesla.
We have
Yeah, my Tesla
we
is
haven't-
parked there.
Yeah. We're about to get a Tesla. You're about to get it soon, or it's packed somewhere.
Yeah, it is. But then I can't go with it to Shago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We understand. Yeah.
Electricity hasn't gotten there. So if
What are you
drive-
trying to say about the leadership in your area?
If you drive
It is
home,
2024.
Drink shit.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, so there's like Tesla. There's so many companies that we do interact with
Yeah,
here
OJ.
globally, right?
yeah.
Do guys know you can actually trade OJ, orange juice on our platform?
Orange juice on the
Even
platform.
cocoa, coffee.
Yeah.
You can do so much, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one of the finest parts is they're actually very cheap.
They are actually so affordable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose the word cheap, but affordable.
Okay,
you know,
affordable.
You know?
One of the things that a lot of people think about whenever it is that they want to invest in stocks, I think Julie said it and then you said it, is people think you need to have 1 million Kenya shillings or something. But then you find that on the platform, you can trade orange juice for as little as like $1.
Right.
Yeah, or $1.50. So $1.50 in the current exchange rate, that's like 200 shillings.
Yeah.
And like Julie said, you can start small, and then this is something that you're looking at for the next 8 years.
Right.
So you can invest your 1,000 shillings, and then every single month you go in topping up on the portfolio that you have.
Yeah.
By the time you're getting to 5 years, you find that you have a portfolio of, let's say, 400,000, 500,000
Yes.
that is consistently appreciating. and you started only with 1,000 shillings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And that's how it works, by the way, right?
Exactly.
There's a concept called dollar cost average. So like every month you just keep topping up. You don't have to
Yeah.
like be so aggressive on yourself, you know, I'm gonna put in like $1 million
million,
every
yeah.
$1 million,
month, you know, shillings
yeah.
rather, yeah, you know. So just start small and then grow it gradually,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
And I think even Julie can tell us something about it. But for me, I feel like it's safer for guys to invest in international stocks than local stocks because of their stability. Looking at it, a company like, let's say, for instance, Apple, you can definitely see how they get to do their stuff every single year.
Right.
Yeah. It's September. We are waiting for iPhone 16.
iPhone 16.
Yeah.
I wonder what new thing they'll come up with.
Yeah,
right?
last year iPhone 15 came out. I think it was like 250K or something.
Yeah.
Sold out the moment they were released.
Yeah.
So you can imagine you being an investor in that company, the kind of dividends you're getting paid.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, guys can now actually own it for as little as even $10, $20 if they're trading with scope markets.
Yes.
Why? Because we get to offer them fractional stocks.
Yes.
So you can buy a fraction of that stock and then keep on topping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over time, right?
Yeah, over time. And then, but for me, the global financial markets and then looking at the stocks, I feel like a lot of stocks in the New York Stock Exchange are more stable as compared to all these other exchanges. I think it's because of the diligence that they do before they list a company and the long term that they're looking at any company listing, which is very good. Because, I mean, I remember the first time I actually wanted to own an iPhone. iPhone 6S Plus. It just came out. I think that was around 2015, 2016, thereabout. So I'd gone to see one of my uncles, and then he was flashing it all around, like imported
Yeah.
directly
You know how
from
when you
Dubai.
have an iPhone, you can't just put it down.
Yeah, it never fits in the pocket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No offense to Android guys.
Yeah. Sorry. And then that time, I remember I used to have a Techno X something.
Okay.
I took a picture somewhere, and then he took a picture, and then those are the times that you feel like hiding your phone. And the first time I owned an iPhone, I felt so proud about it. But then the best thing that ever happened was the first time I owned a stock.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Because now you see you're using a product that you actually own.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have ownership of the company, right?
Yeah. And that's part of the things that guys can definitely have with scope markets.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, and actually to add on that, I can imagine just like you owning an iPhone, but also owning the stock.
Yeah.
So when you're actually looking at what Apple is doing, you're not just looking at it from a consumer point of view,
Yes.
but you're also looking at it from an investor's point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful because, I mean, owning a phone is good. You'll always change it.
Yes.
But owning a stock is even more powerful because,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every year there are dividends that you earn from. Once you get the stock, depending on where you're going to sell them at, you'll also get capital gains from that. So
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And again, just to add on what you said concerning local stocks compared to global stocks.
Global stocks.
I think for investors, especially here in Kenya, global stocks offer you like a wide variety of sectors to invest in.
Yes.
No.
Because when you look at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you only have like 63 companies listed. And when you want to invest in tech stocks, like only, let's say, you only look at Safaricom.
Safaricom,
Yeah.
yeah.
But now looking at the international stock market, you have a lot, you know?
Yeah, thousands and thousands
have
of companies.
You have a wide
yeah.
array, right?
Precisely. And then right now, like things are changing very fast. Like
Yes.
new things are coming. Right now, the
Yeah.
conversation all over the world is about artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AI,
So
yeah.
looking at companies that have actually ventured into AI, you're like, do we have any company in Kenya that is actually doing that?
Right.
So if you're very passionate about, as an investor, if you're passionate about AI, for me, I'd be looking at a company that is actually venturing into that. So with that, you can
Yeah.
get such companies in the international market, and thank God for scope, gives you that
Right.
opportunity to actually buy any
any of them on.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like how many stocks?
Ooh, we have over 1,200
Wow.
yeah?
Wow.
And from different exchanges. We're talking
Exactly.
about London, Asian markets. Sydney market, and definitely New York.
it.
So you get a wide array. And hey, even shout out to all the girlies. You know, if you want fashion things, you know, makeup,
Sephora.
L'Oreal,
Yeah.
wait, L'Oreal,
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal one, yeah.
Okay. I was left out,
Yeah.
but
You can invest in
Bravs,
these
I got you.
companies.
Yeah.
Even Nike, you
Yeah,
know.
okay, now,
Yeah.
Nike,
Bravs,
I got you
yeah,
now,
I got you
right? So there's so many companies you can invest in, right?
Yeah.
And even aside from just the single stocks, we've mentioned now the fractional shares.
Yeah.
So just to break down how the fractional shares work, right? If, like, for instance, right now NVIDIA is a company that deals with AI. The current share price is probably, let's work with $130,
Yeah.
right? If you don't have the entire $130, guess what? You can buy 0.1 of the $130,
$30,
right?
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fraction of it.
A fraction of it, yeah.
So that makes you more accessible to this market. You don't
Yeah.
need so much. Just start with what you got. Again.
Yeah, I mean, it dropped across point.
Yeah.
But then we are still expecting it to rise.
Right.
And like you said, right now it could be at $130. Maybe by the end of next year it could be at like $1,000.
Yeah.
And right now you don't have the $130. So you buy, let's say, for the $20, you keep on topping up, and then you get to a point where you own like one stock for 130, and then you leave it again. Like we said, for stocks, it's a long-term game.
It's a long time.
Yeah, so you leave it. By the time next year gets there, you're already at $1,000. You see, you only bought $130, but then within a year, you can already see the massive gains that you've been able to get.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So it's okay. Again, stocks is a waiting game.
It's a waiting.
It
It's for the
is,
patient
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
is.
you have to be patient if you're
Very.
dealing with stocks.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of thing like my Pasua, you know. I now buy my eggs for 15 shillings, and then at the end of
By
the
the
day,
end of the day, you know.
I'm from 600 bob. I'm already chucking out 1,000 shillings.
Yes.
Yeah, this thing is consistently waiting and then patiently analyzing the market.
Yes.
Like Julie said, you have to keep on to be patient, and then you have to keep on checking on those financials, and then also don't panic.
Yeah,
Don't
never
panic,
panic,
yes.
right?
Yeah, don't
Yes.
panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the moment you panic, you make irrational decisions.
True.
The moment you make irrational decisions is the moment you start losing your financial
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. And I love what Warren says, that be greedy when others are patient, and be patient when others are greedy.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that's how he's been able to make a lot of money in the stock market.
I know.
Because when you talk about like the prices of these stock markets, they're mostly based on investor sentiments.
Yes.
Like right now, there's the election in the US, and I think, was it a week ago? Like we saw stocks dipping like
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
one's business.
Yeah.
And now people started being afraid, like, oh my God, I'm going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you look at the fundamentals of that specific, like NVIDIA, it's still strong. People will still use AI in the long run.
Yeah.
So it means if you had really invested like wisely and rationally, you wouldn't follow people just because, okay, you
Yeah,
know, just a
everybody's
short
panicking
term,
and
and now
getting
you
it
want to
out,
sell
yeah.
it. Yeah. So you need to really understand yourself, your goals, and why you're there.
That's
Yeah.
true. And when it comes to analyzing, do you feel like the analysis part of investing is a bit hard? Because I know that's usually something else. Guys are like, wow, what do I look at? You know, you've mentioned a lot about the financials, right? But when you say financials, what am I looking at? Am I looking at how is this company growing? How is their earnings per share? You know, what are you looking at in terms of analysis? Yeah.
So for the financials, you're looking at the company's growth, definitely. Julie said you need to forecast and see in 3 years' time, will this company have a branch in Kisumu? Will this company have a branch in other parts of the country? So when you're forecasting, you can be able to tell that this company is going to experience growth. So that's one of the aspects that you look at in terms of financials. You also look at how stable they are in terms of their share price. So the share price at the beginning of the year was like $2. It's already mid-year. Has the share price dropped like drastically? Is the share price still stable at $2? Has it increased? It doesn't increase like to $10.
Yeah.
It might go to 2.1, but then it shows you like there is a consistent stability across point.
Okay.
And then you also look at, like for me, I get to look at the number of employees. I get to look at the number of regions that they are looking at, the kind of partnerships that they want to do. Like for instance, bring it locally. You find one of the banks that I totally admire in the banking sector is NCBA Bank. Those guys have totally understood what we call mergers. because looking at it, each and every acquisition that they have ever done across point, they have been able to triple that market. So you can definitely see that they are getting into the insurance space by acquiring an insurance company,
Yeah.
and you can know that they're going to turn it because of how they are looking at prospecting it. So those are some of the things that I definitely look at. That way, I'm able to understand I'm investing into this because of the market sentiments that it's giving me.
Yeah.
It's giving me prospects of growth within the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, so in short, you look at the management,
Yeah,
let's
management.
say that, the growth pattern of that particular company,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The stability
Yes.
also, right? And also the share price. How is the share price performing over
Yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And also to add on that, even before you get to like management and financials,
Yeah.
the key thing is what is the product and service. And in the next few years, we need to be there. Like, let me give you an example. Newspapers. Like what, like 10 years ago,
Yes.
we were reading newspapers.
Yeah.
But these days, no one no longer like reads them.
Yeah.
We're all on social media. So
Yeah,
imagine
it's
you
all
having
online.
invested exactly in a company that was majorly just,
Focused on
newspapers,
Yeah.
like, and no other revenue sources.
yeah.
So if you are an investor at that time, you'd think, okay, fine, in the next 10 years, will people really be using newspapers? So you also look at the products and services. How sustainable are these products and services that this company is offering? And will it be there in the long run? Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah, I think that's a very important point for you.
Because
to
right now
have.
the print publication is actually struggling.
Yeah.
Everything is online. I don't even read. I don't even know who reads newspapers.
And also like to even
No offense. No.
no, true. No, print is really suffering.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
really
also
suffering.
on top of that, there's the whole talk about climate and you not, cutting down trees.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like, so there's this, yeah,
It's really
crazy.
something else. Yeah.
It is.
That's how you realize that whenever it is that you're looking into something, it's not only that particular point. Because you see, we've been talking about print,
Yeah.
but Julie is also saying about climate. So you're also looking at climate.
Yes.
You'll go to climate, you realize that there's climate change, actions, and everything else. It ripples down to another company, which goes to
Yeah.
another company. So
Yes.
I think what she said is one of the key and important things, because she also said about AI. You might look at it right now. An AI company had the stocks dip,
Yeah.
but then you definitely know within the next 10 years,
will be
AI is going to be big.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be massive.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that I'm going to pick
true.
within my next investments.
And there are many other industries like real estate,
Yeah.
pharmaceutical, banking is a really good one, motor vehicles. So there's a wide array of things that you can definitely invest in, not
Yeah.
just, just the the
Yeah.
major ones, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, if you have a hard time, because one of the things guys also have a hard time with is selecting which is the best company to invest in, right? So do I do Nvidia? Do I do this? Do I do this? Guess what? They're also index funds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a like of S&P 500.
500,
So
yeah.
for instance, S&P 500 is an index that tracks 500 of the best performing companies in the
yeah.
US. Okay.
Yeah.
There we have the Magnificent Seven. So if you are looking for something that has all of the best companies, S&P
Yeah, you can-
500 is good.
yeah.
We have Berkshire Hathaway there. We have
Yeah.
Nvidia. We have so many others. We also have Nasdaq 100. You can also trade in that.
On the tech side.
True,
Yeah.
true. Because there are investors who can, like 10 years back, they probably bought into S&P and they just held.
Yeah, and right
They
now-
just invested
Yeah.
and held, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think also it's important for you to be able to have guys like Julie and then Scope Markets because they get to advise you on whatever it is that you need to do in terms of research. They get to advise you the kind of direction that you are looking at in terms of longevity. So having somebody that is certified is good because they'll definitely point you towards the right direction.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's how you even get to expand on your knowledge base and whatever it is that you're looking for
Yeah.
and the kind of information that you need in order for you to get into an investment that you are planning for. Again, remember, only invest money that you're willing to risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're
That's very
not
important.
emotionally attached
Yeah,
to
you're
that
not-
money.
like let's say I have $100 that I've potentially spent on sneakers, so why not invest that money? Because at the end of the day, it's money that will have been spent somewhere else doing
Yeah.
something else.
Precisely.
So because you're not emotionally attached to it, you can definitely wait for it.
Yes,
True.
yes.
But imagine me, I've gone to Julie. Julie has told me, you can invest in Absa Bank. And then I'm like, let me take my 50K Absa. Then that's the money I'm waiting for in Christmas.
Right.
Precisely.
Yeah, so it gets to like December. Then I'm like, Julie, you told me to invest here. It's now at 45,000.
You come for me, you come for me,
Told me, yeah. And now I can't go on holiday.
Exactly.
It's because of you.
It's because of you. I was expecting it to be at 65.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to go to. No.
Yeah.
Wait. Invest money that you don't have plans with right now. And then you can definitely be able to wait it in the long run.
I love that. And just to add on that, how I look at risk, there's what we call the risk tolerance, right? And sometimes you have to gauge yourself. What's your risk tolerance? Is it low? Is it high? How I look at risk tolerance is the willingness to take on risk and the capacity to take on risk. I'm going to explain. So the willingness is you might have the 100,000, let's say the 10,000, but then you're like, yes, I am willing to lose it. But are you capable? Capable in the sense that that's the only money that you have. So
Yeah.
you might be willing and not be capable.
Okay.
Another way is the capacity to take on risk. That is, yes, I have the 100,000, but I'm still not willing to take it, Then there's someone who is both willing and capable to take on that risk. So that is
Okay.
how you look at risk when it comes to investing, especially when you talk
Investments.
about high risk investments like stocks. So yeah,
Oh, that's
Me, I'm ready and willing.
willing and capable.
Yeah.
willing and
With my
capable.
So you have a
$20.
high risk tolerance.
Yeah, with my $20. Take my
That's
money.
nice.
And I
I'll
think
wait
it's about
for 8
time.
years.
I think
yeah.
it's about time most of us got into that space of being willing and
Yeah.
capable.
And capable, yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
these opportunities are there right now.
Yes.
You don't have to always just set up a business and, keep stressing over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limit your expectations, first of all, when investing in the stock market or any financial market, that is.
Yeah.
And just be willing to take the risk, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
And just to add on that, Marcy, very powerful point that you brought up. When it comes again to investing, first of all, there is what we call the active investing and there's the passive investing, right? Active is whereby you actively work for your money. Like you go to work every day, 8 to 5 business. That is active investing. And when it comes to passive, is your money working for you? And I get a lot of this in my DMs, like shares or rather even government securities, they get very little amount of money. I would have rather just opened up a business. And the difference is for a business, you're actively there,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
For this other one, it's passive. You're not even struggling.
Yeah, the money is working for
The
you.
money is working for you.
So it's that sort of thing that
Yeah.
will make you money when you're sleeping.
Precisely,
Yeah.
that is it. So even if it's
That's
earning
the
me like
dream.
1,000 bob and I'm not even struggling, then why not?
I mean, that's the dream that I would
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
I'm just somewhere sipping my ties and then my money's
Yes,
You're
yes.
somewhere in the beach chilling,
Exactly.
Malibu,
and
Bali.
also on top of that, again, guys, ensure that you have your finances right even before investing. Ensure you have your emergency fund. So just in case, again, as you've said, the capacity and willingness to take risk. So just in case you invest in NVIDIA and all goes down, or today, God forbid, you're out of work or something happens, you have a fallback plan. So
Okay.
just ensure that you're somewhere financially, and then now you can be able to take on this like more risk. Yeah,
I do agree.
So the goals.
the goals precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read somewhere you should have your mission. What is your mission? Why are you actually investing?
Yeah.
You might want to do it for your child, for school fees, for something in the future. So what's your actual mission?
Yes.
And then now what's the problem aside from that? Yeah, the problem you're trying to solve is you're trying to have money work for you. It's about time we stop always looking for money. It should
Yeah.
start working for us,
Precisely.
right?
Yes.
We
And
need to
then-
live in Beverly Hills.
Right? And okay, Beverly Hills is a bit overrated, but
Man can dream.
one country.
Man can dream.
And then, lastly, let it offer you the solution you really want. So mission, problem, solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the goal of also investing is to curb inflation, right?
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't really understand inflation, by the way. Yeah.
Now that's a whole other technical
That's
thing that
something
we have
else.
to explain to them. Because you see, if you tell me that through my investment I'm
Yeah.
cutting inflation, I'll be like, why should I help out?
Right.
Yeah, as long as me I'm making money, why should I help somebody
Yeah.
else? Again, people don't even understand that inflation can definitely help you, help everybody. And the kind of inflation that is in a country definitely tells you about the economic growth of that country and everything else, the stability. But I mean, if my mission is to make money, my
But yeah,
solution is to make, my solution is to make money.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
easy.
I think to explain inflation, let's put it this way: like 10 years ago, probably you had like $1,000. It doesn't have the same value,
Value
right
right
now.
now.
Right now, $1,000 is like pocket change to someone else. Back
Even
then,
use just
yeah,
like the Kenyan
yeah,
10 years ago, if you had 5 Gs and then walked into a supermarket, you'd definitely be walking out with a trolley.
yeah.
Yeah. Right now, you can get in with 5 Gs and you only walk out with a bag carried
Right? Like 10
besides you.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's inflation.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
True. So, in regards to now maybe the future of investing, what are you doing with your space? You've told us you have like a lot of platforms you're in, right? So, what are you doing in your space to actually help guys understand more about investing?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just to ensure that I'm educating the masses on what investment opportunities are there. Because as we said in the beginning of this discussion, like there's that information gaps. People are still getting scammed left, right, and center. So you're like, why is this happening? So it means, again, there are so many people that are yet to be reached by this information. And again, I really commend all the content creators out there who are doing something regarding like educating people on personal finance, investing, and savings. You guys are doing the Lord's work, honestly. So yeah, so it's pretty much just to continue educating and putting the word out there. And yeah, hopefully we'll all get to a point where we're financially independent,
Yeah.
free, or you know.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the
Achieve
goal.
financial freedom, right?
Yes. Yeah. But financial freedom is something that everybody wants to have.
Yes.
And something that people should understand about financial freedom
Yeah.
is, Julie said, you need to have your money working for you, not you actively working to get your money. Now, when you get to that point, for me, that's what I feel financial freedom is all about. You've put yourself in a place where everything that you did towards you getting to that point is actually right, that you can be able to enjoy everything free without having to look like, if I do this, I'll have to miss out on this. Now that's freedom for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting to a point where you don't struggle and then your money is already doing something and bringing you returns in that regard. So, you know, like you're getting 1,000 bob. So your internet is paid for, or maybe your Netflix is paid for. So it's all coming out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 8 years down the line, you'll find that you're maybe at 5K. So if you're already at 5K, that means you've added more into that portfolio. So that's what I believe financial freedom is for me.
Amazing.
And you must say, let me throw that
for
question. What
me.
is financial freedom for you?
Financial freedom is being able to wake up and just
Chill,
I'm not like stressed about money, you know. I know I have my bag right. I have my savings right. I don't have debts. I think for me the major thing I wanna avoid, and I think all of
debt.
us need to avoid, is being in debt. So that's financial freedom for me. Just knowing I don't owe anyone money. Nobody owes me money. And I'm just I can go anywhere, and I can actually just be at home, and I know income is still gonna come in, you know.
Yeah.
there's a steady
Because I think
stream.
that's what everyone wants, especially like, for example, if like you're a mom, you don't want to always be stressed about like, how am I gonna take care of my family? I want to just be at ease, and you know, my babies are okay and stuff like that, you know. And money is just coming in, and I'm actually doing something legal. Something legal.
Legal,
Yeah. Something legal to get this money right. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to put it out there again, so with Scope Markets, you can actually invest in single stocks for the global market. You can invest in fractional shares. You can invest in NSE
NSE
derivatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? What else do we have? I think that's majorly it,
Yeah,
right?
on the
And
stock
also
side.
ETFs.
Yeah.
ETFs are also another. We call them exchange traded funds. They're also a type of, let's say, an index per se,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So all those expose you to the stock market, and you can do that with Scope Markets gladly.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to more investments.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that session. Thank you so much, Julie, for being here with us.
Thank you so much, too. Yeah, this
And
was
you
nice.
guys make sure to check her out. She is a gazetted and certified financial analyst, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. And thank you, Byron, as usual, for the banter.
Always. Any day, anytime.
Awesome. And you guys keep tuned for more amazing episodes at Pesa Chronicles. Keep following us on our YouTube and TikTok pages. And if you want to hear about anything, also reach out to us. So that's it from us. See you on the next one.